Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to 12 Days of Beauty. If you don't know, from the 12 Days of Christmas, I'm doing a video every single day leading up to the 12 days of Christmas. You get it. It's 12 days, 12 videos leading up till Christmas Day, and a lot of holiday looks have been included, and today I wanted to do something more New Year's Eve sparkly inspired. This could be a really great date night makeup as well. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. Usually I would do more like silvers or golds or like smoky eyes for New Year's Eve, and this is my favorite time to do makeup even if I'm just staying home. But I want to do something a little bit more romantic using these tones. I used all drugstore products. I tried quite a few new things as well, and they were all really great, really affordable. So yeah, if you'd like to see how I achieved this look and the products I use, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I've got my eyes all primed and ready, and I set with a little bit of powder, and I'm going to go in first with this Milani, I believe these are called the Most Wanted eyeshadow palettes. Mine is in the color Rosy Revenge. I'll kind of try to show you, but it actually broke. I just purchased this, and when I got home, it had broken sometime between putting it in the bag and getting back to my house, so I'm not going to return it because, I mean, it's fine, but I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start with the second shade in the palette, which is kind of like a really, really light, dusty mauve shade. I'm going to start by just applying that in the crease. It is a very light shade. I kind of doubt it is even going to do anything, but I just want to kind of use all the shades in the palette, as many as I can, and see what we've got going on. Alright, so it did a little bit. I don't know if you can see. There's a little bit of depth in my crease, and that's as good as I'm expecting from that color. I'm going to go in with the next shade in it, which is the Broken shade. It's a little bit more of like a true like mauve color, about a mid-tone color. I'm going to go in with that same brush and just apply it in the same area, starting with windshield wiper motions to kind of put the pigment where I want it, right in that crease, and then kind of just blending it out. These colors are not super pigmented, but they are applying pretty nicely. I'm pretty impressed so far. I have heard quite a few things about the Milani eyeshadows that people have been liking them, so I decided to give it a go. I think that pink is actually really nice. I'm kind of just like feathering the shadow out once I get to like the end of my eye, and just applying that all in the crease again. Alright, so that is what our crease is looking like right now. I'm just going to keep building the depth. I want the crease to be pretty dark and sultry, and then I'm going to put something really like bright and sparkly onto the lid. I think that's where I want to go. And I do want to build up the outer corner as well, so I'm just going to keep going in the order of the palette. The next shade is kind of like a darker rosy brown. Like I said, I would show you, but it's kind of hard because one of my shadows is broken. But I'm going in with this color. It's like a deep kind of like mulberry, blackberry shade. I don't know if those are the same kind of berry, I'm just saying that. But I'm going to take a much smaller, like tiny brush. This is the brush I was using, and then this is the brush I'm going to go in with that dark color, and I'm just going to be applying it, same thing, just more precisely into the crease. And just building up the pigment and the depth in the crease area. I want it to pop. I want when we put that shimmer like slash glitter shade on the lid, I'm going to put quite a few shades on the lid, but they're going to be very bright, very sparkly, very like party New Year's-esque. So I want the crease to have a lot of depth and to really pop against those shades. So I'm just kind of carving it out, almost like how you would think to do a cut crease, because this brush is very pointy, but it's just going to be a little slightly messier and not as precise as a cut crease. So I'm just going in and kind of carving semi-precisely into the crease with that darker shade. Going back in with that bigger crease brush, I'm not going to put any more product on it, and I'm just going to run it over top of those darker colors just to make sure everything's blending. And if I have to reapply, then that's fine. I just want to make sure I'm getting a pretty good blend as I add more depth and darkness to the shades. Alright, so now I'm just going to be kind of going back in with the dark color, adding that, blending until I like how it looks. Alright, so that is what the eyes are looking like right now. I was just going back and forth with that darker shade, really packing it on, and then I would blend it out. I took a little bit more of that mid-tone mauve shade and kind of blended with that. And now I'm going to start taking the shade that I have been working with, the kind of blackberry shade, and then also the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm going to start pressing them onto the outer corner. I'm going to use kind of more like a thin, fluffy brush like I was using, but less of a point, more dense. So I'm just going to mix those two shades together, top it off, and then start tapping them on to the outer corner. So far, I'm really impressed with these shadows. I think they're really nice since this is my first time using them. It's kind of difficult sometimes to find good like drugstore eyeshadows, and by drugstore I mean like other than like Morphe or ColourPop or like Juvia's Place, themes that you can truly find like more places than just Ulta. So I think that these are a pretty good find so far. And then I'm going to take the little like pointed crease brush we were using before and then kind of just like blend that out once I have most of the product patted on. Alright, and that is where we're going to leave the matte shades for right now, and I'm going to go in with some different products. So first I'm going to be taking, I just want to kind of experiment and see what works best with this. I'm going to take this Makeup Revolution, this is the Eye Glisten, and what shade is it? In the shade Yours Truly. It's like this really pretty double-sided glitter slash shimmer like liquid pigment, and kind of like a rose gold shade, and then kind of more of like a traditional pinky shade. So the rose gold definitely has more of like the gold in it. Alright, so I'm just going to take the more gold, like shimmery side that doesn't have a lot of glitter in it, and I'm going to start applying that on the inner portion of my lid. This is quite liquidy, so I'm going to make sure I keep my eye open because I don't want it to transfer up. And I'm going to take kind of like a synthetic brush and just pat this so we don't get a lot of transfer. I got a little bit, but that's okay. Oh, it dries down pretty nicely. It dried down almost immediately, like it kind of dried down before I got the chance to blend it, which is okay because I want it to be a little harsh. We are going to add more products, but I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye. Alright, I did go ahead and kind of surpass the crease just to like avoid any kind of problems with like transfer, and to also just like open up my eye a little bit more. With that, I am going to be going back in with that little pointed brush with that kind of raspberry like berry shade we've been using in the crease. And I'm going to like kind of stamp it above that just so we don't lose any of like that depth and definition. Alright, next I have two options. I have the glitter side of the Makeup Revolution, or I have this Starlit Studio. This is from Target. This glitter liner in, I don't think it has a shade. I just picked this up from Target. It's just like a kind of more rose gold liner as well. I'm going to start with the Makeup Revolution and see how that works. I'm just going to apply the glitter all on top of the shimmer shade that we already applied. I don't think this is going to give me much, so I probably will go in with the other product. Well, it gave me a little something. Just going to tap it out with my finger. Oh, that actually gave a really pretty sparkle. I don't like how the outside edges are looking, so I don't know if I'm going to go back in with the shimmer and try to clean it up, or if I'm just going to stamp more dark on top. I think I'll start with the dark and see how that applies. I don't know if that's working, so I think I am just going to go back in with that shimmer from Makeup Revolution, the more rose gold side, and I'm going to connect it to the outer corner. And kind of cover up the darkness. And I think actually I'm going to wing out my shadow. I wasn't really planning on this, but I'm going to take that shimmer and then kind of wing it upwards, and we'll fix it with the brush. You have to be really quick with this product. I am going to take a little bit of that Starlit Studio Rose Gold liner and then just apply it more in the center. So I want most of the sparkle to be centered. But I think that's where we're going to leave it for now. I'm going to do my face and then see what it needs and add to it. It's looking a little bit messy, which I don't love. I might try to clean up the crease a little bit, but we're going to move on to the face, I think. Alright, for foundation, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. I used to use this like years ago, and I recently saw someone on TikTok say that they think it's comparable to the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. So I just wanted to try it again. This is kind of a darker shade. This is the lightest shade I could find at my store. It is in N2, I believe. N1 to 2, which I feel like if this is like one of the lightest shades, it's not very light, but drugstores never have good shade ranges, and I mean, usually I can find a shade that matches me because I am white and have light skin, and I don't have much of a problem like deeper skin girls do, where they like never have a foundation shade to match them, especially not at an affordable rate. So I'm not going to complain because this is a decent shade match, and there's plenty of foundation shade ranges that cater to me and me alone. So I really wish more, like all brands would just include everyone when making their products, and instead they, like recently a lot of makeup brands have been like adding to their shade range, but like why is an afterthought, you know? Like if you're making a product, and even just from a business standpoint, you can make all this money by including more and more people and being inclusive to everyone, but like you're choosing not to, like for what, you know? This foundation is really beautiful. It's looking really nice. I decided to use a brush. I think I'm going to go in with my beauty blender and kind of just blend out the brush marks because I'm kind of noticing that. Alright, that was really pretty. Next, I'm going to take my LA Pro Conceal. I've never actually used this because I couldn't find a shade. I kept getting like the wrong shade because I kept ordering it online, but I think this shade might work. This is Buff. Usually I use my Becca Under Eye Corrector, but this is in Drugstore video, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, there we go, finally. I'm going to kind of straighten out the little wings that I did. I don't know how much of this to use. I'm just going to highlight a little bit since I'm not matching perfectly. Just add a little bit of lightness towards the center of my face. I don't think I'm going to go in with powder just because I am feeling a little dry lately, so I don't think I need to set anything. Everything's looking pretty nice in my opinion, so we're just going to keep going with the face. The next product I have is also new and is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder, and this one says it's for deeper skin. I would find this very hard to believe if this was for deeper skin. This is what it looks like. This looks like a good color for my kind of skin, but maybe it applies darker. We'll see. I'll be a little bit careful with it to begin with, but yeah, I'm kind of finding the claim deeper skin a little sus. It definitely has some pigment to it. But yeah, this is a white girl bronzer. I mean, I'm not gonna like lie and be like, oh, maybe it could work for deeper skin. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, you can tell by just looking at it. So, it smells like coconuts. It smells pretty good. Sorry, I got these new little bangs. I cut them myself. And they kind of get in the way. And I don't know why I don't bring clips in here, but just applying my bronzer. This is actually a really pretty color, I think, though, for me. I'm going to take my foundation brush and kind of go down the center of the nose to clean up my nose contour, and then kind of dot it anywhere where I feel like maybe the bronzer got a little out of hand. Alright, for blush, I'm going to go in with this Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush in Berry Smooch. Tried this on my hand, and it looked gorgeous, so I'm just going to dot it on my hand first, and then take a little e.l.f. stipple brush and very softly kind of stipple it onto my hand, get off the excess product, and apply further back on my cheeks because I want this to be a little bit more dramatic and sculpted. A little bit on the nose. I don't know how people in like when they film videos, they don't have stuff like all over their hand, or maybe they're just not showing it, because I feel like there will be times when I'll watch back footage when I'm editing and my hand will look disgusting and I'm like, well, my makeup turned out good though, so take my beauty blender and just blend out any harshness. See, like, look at this hand, look at that. Disgusting. Like, are other people just really neat when they apply their makeup and it's just me who's like this, or what? I think I am going to show you guys my mascara today just because I have a new one to try, and it is the CoverGirl Lash Blast Clean. I remember I used to love the original Lash Blast, say that 5 times fast, in the orange tube, so they came out with this clean version, and like, I don't really know what the clean claims are, but I thought it was a pretty color and I wanted to try it, so let's give it a go. Get a mirror. Okay, so far so good. I'm not really used to a brush like this. It's a little bit more of like a rubbery brush, and I'm kind of scared I'm going to poke myself in the eye, but I think it's giving me like pretty good volume and pretty good length. Alright, so that's the mascara. I think it looks really good. So now I'm going to finish up my brows and do my lashes, and I'll be back. Alright, lashes are on. I believe the style Twinkle from the Kiss holiday lash set, one of them. I'm going to take a black liner and just do the upper tight line just to connect the lashes a little bit better. Ooh, I hate doing this. Alright, for highlight, I'm going to take the Super Shock Cheek from ColourPop in the shade Flexitarian. I'm just going to pop that right on top of my cheekbones. And I think I am going to just pop it as the inner corner highlight. And maybe apply a little bit as a brow highlight. So I'm just going to take a little brush and go right under the arch of my brow. I think I'm just going to highlight right there. For the lower lash line, I'm just going to take that berry shade that I applied mostly in my crease. I'm going to take that and just tightly run it across under my lower lash line. Let me get a mirror. Oh yeah, that shade is really pretty. I really recommend these Milani shadows. I think they're really, really nice. For the price, I believe they were $10. You could probably find them cheaper, just depending on what store you go to. I got mine at Ulta. For lips, I think I want to keep it pretty nude, pretty neutral, especially for New Year's Eve. I don't know, I always just think of like stunning eyes with like a really pretty nude lip, so that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna make it a little bit more pinky. So I'm gonna take this LA Girl lip liner, and this is the shade Pinky. No, that fits. And I'm just gonna probably fill in my whole lip with this. Alright, to top that, I'm gonna go in with L'Oreal Matte Academia, the 808. It's one of their matte lipsticks, and fill it in. I'm going to kind of go in with the lip liner again and fill in the edges just to make it look not so like stark. And just for a little gloss, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Ice Lifted Gloss right in the center. Alright, and that is the finished look. I think this is really beautiful for any time, but I just wanted to do something a little bit more glam because I know New Year's Eve I wanted to do something a little bit more glam because I know New Year's Eve is coming up, even if a lot of us aren't going to be celebrating due to circumstances of the world right now. Even if you wanted to just do something in your house, I know I probably will put on a full face of makeup, and I think we're going to decorate my apartment, and me and my boyfriend are just going to watch the ball drop probably on television if they're doing that, I don't know. But do something and have some sparkling grape juice or something, I don't know. But I thought it was fun. I always like to do something really glittery and do my makeup for New Year's Eve. It's one of my favorite times of the year, just simply for makeup purposes. So I wanted to do something like this, and I thought the pink was a little bit different. Usually my mind for New Year's Eve goes to like, I don't know, for some reason like blue, golds, and silvers or things like that. So I wanted to do something a little bit more warm and like romantic. I think this would be a really beautiful date night makeup as well. So yeah, this might be the last video of 12 Days of Beauty. I have another one going up. I'm not sure what order, but if it is, I really hope you guys enjoyed 12 Days of Beauty. I really enjoyed doing it. I think technically there's going to be 13 videos, not 12, because I counted weird or something. But I had a really fun time doing this. I think either next year I'll continue to do this or maybe try to do every day, like Vlogmas style. But this has been really fun. It really pushed me to come up with some really fun holiday looks, and I've really enjoyed each and every one of them. And yeah, so I hope everyone has a really safe holiday this year, and I hope your friends and family and you are staying super, super safe and having the best time. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!